Okay, today I'm going to be talking about the economic ideas were that grew up, that that sparked in the 19th century, that control our economies in the world today. Let's get started. Capitalism. It was theorized by Adam Smith, a Scottish economist who wrote the book called The Wealth of Nations. What's the idea of capitalism? Economy works when supply and demand operates without government interference. Laissez-faire, to let alone, or hands off, where government has no control over businesses. And the theory is, let's go here. Buyers and sellers act in their own self-interest. So businesses compete with others to produce goods as inexpensively as possible. Efficient producers make more profit, hire more workers, and expand. This is the theory of capitalism. Consumers buy the best goods at the lowest prices because as a result of capitalism. So more people started their own businesses in capitalist societies. Standard of living increased for many, but not for all. Dissatisfaction with poor working conditions and unequal distribution. Now, here's a fun fact. Did you know that the man who created Monopoly created it to try to prove to everyone that in a capitalist society, only one person wins? As we can see nowadays in the Occupy Wall Street movement, the 1% have the money that the 90% don't have. This is unequal distribution in a capitalist society. So money. So what is socialism? It is the means of production is controlled by society. In practice, it's controlled by the government. And this means that the wealth is distributed equally among all citizens, depending on how hard they work. In a socialist society, for example, I'll give you an example of Sweden. People pay very high taxes, so they get free healthcare, free welfare, and all these stuff. In a capitalist society, that doesn't happen. Or at least, not yet. So the Socialist Leader. Socialism was theorized by Robert Owen. He sought to replace competition between businesses with cooperation. He attempted this in Scotland with great success, but failed in the United States. And this is evident if you go to the United States nowadays. You'll find Republican and Democratic leaders saying, "Say no to socialism in America," and they fight socialism. But what they do not realize is that the Social Security Act, Social Security, in essence, and Obamacare is a form of socialism. We could see nowadays that in a capitalist society, that countries are moving slowly towards socialism while still calling it capitalism, but in essence it's really not capitalism. So what is communism? The third type of the economic system. In this the picture here is of Karl Marx, who was the leader of communism. He was German, and his associate was Friedrich Engels. Marx wrote the Communist Manifesto with Engels, and he also wrote Das Kapital. It was the response to the injustices of capitalism. Communism is a form of socialism. Let us not make the mistake of calling it socialism, but it is a form of socialism. So, what is its theory? The theory behind it is that history advances through conflict. Conflict must happen, so history advances. And society is divided into classes. You have the bourgeoisie, which is the middle class, and the proletariat, which is the working class. Now, in a communist society, they don't like ruling class controlling production. So they build a society in which the people own everything. This is because class conflict is inevitable. You will always have conflict between the upper class and the lower class, and that is why the communist society theory is brought up. Revolution is needed to make the ruling class give up control. In the communist theory, there is no private property. Wealth is shared by all. The social classes would thus vanish. And when the social classes vanish and everyone is living at the same level, knowing that their neighbor does not have more than them and they do not have more than their neighbor, there would be no need for government, because why would you kill? Why would you steal? And why would you commit crime? This is Communism Today. This is just funny, in reality, you have the communist leaders. They're abusing because in a communist society, people, you can never have everyone rich. No one is ever completely rich, even though we try. So, but everything has to become gradual. In communism today, you have the government controlling everything. Like, you have very rich people in government and very poor people poor, and everyone else, the working class, is poor. China now is moving slowly towards capitalism, and actually, let me restate that. China is moving towards socialism, which means that if you live in China and you work hard enough, you can make more money, etc. This was a presentation on the economic theories and ideas of the 19th century that are still enacted today in countries all around the world. Sweden, Norway, and Finland are all socialist countries. You have capitalist countries like the United States and the United Kingdom. And you also have the communist countries like China, Vietnam, North Korea, and Cuba. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and hit the like button down there. Also share if you like the video. And I hope you learned a lot today. Thank you.